Hello everybody, this is Nitrous Dark. Today, I know I'm playing free run, but that's not important. That's not why I'm here to talk to you guys. I'm not just here to play the game. I'm actually here to have like a little heart-to-heart conversation. So if you guys aren't a big fan of that, you can leave now. But I actually hope that you guys stay for the entirety of my, guess you could say my little speech here. So pretty much what I'm here to talk about is Sachem East, as you'll see in the title. Sachem East is having a day called P.S. I Love You Day. And what P.S. I Love You Day, P.S. I Love You Day, I'm sorry about that. What P.S. I Love You Day is supposed to stand for is to try and show you that your friends, your family, anyone who you've ever talked to or met, they do care about you. And they do believe that you are important and hold some sort of worth in their hearts. And it's also a day that that they're trying to make so that people understand that they should care for themselves and should understand how, if they do have one, how mental illness affects them. And I do know a couple of people throughout my life that have had depression or anxiety, or not have had, but I've met people that have depression or anxiety, and sometimes they seem like they have a pretty difficult time handling it or controlling it. And what this day is about is to understand that you are strong enough to get through it. You have people, even if it's just a therapist that you go to or your guidance counselor that you talk to, you do have people that you can talk to that care about you and want to see you feel better emotionally and mentally. And it's also to show that it is not important what other people think about you. If they do think that you're not good enough or that you're not worth their time or whatever, that's not important. What's important is that you try and believe that you are a contribution, or you do have some sort of worth to other people. Like your friends. Your friends, they are your friends. They do care about you. They do like you. They do want to have you as part of their lives. And some people who have depression can't see, like, hey, my friends do care about me, or my friends aren't just going to leave or something like that. But the thing is, sometimes it's difficult with depression to actually get a good look at yourself and say, hey, this is the person I want to be, this is the person I am proud of. And that's pretty much what this day is about, is to show that, to try and help people find that they are worth something to themselves and the people around them. And I wanted to bring this up because this is actually a very important thing that people need to learn in life, because of the fact that most people, if they don't go through their life learning this, will be severely depressed in the rest of through the rest of their lives, because they won't understand that they are cared for, that they do have some sort of worth and purpose in their lives. And also, I wanted to bring up the fact that, give me 1 second. I also wanted to bring up the fact that it is important that people try and ask for help instead of leaving themselves to suffer and not get better. But instead of leaving themselves to suffer and not get better, that they try and find someone that they could talk to, whether it be a friend, a family member, a therapist, or something like that. It is always important to try and have someone that you could talk to, because it is not weak to ask for help. It is not weak to know that you need help. It is actually very important that people try to get help as much as possible so that they so that they can get better. And I know most people think, oh, I don't want to talk about my depression because I feel like I'll just get laughed at, or I feel like I'm not depressed enough to qualify to say, like, oh, hey, I am depressed. And that is not at all true. Even if you only have mild depression, even if it goes to severe depression, you still do have a mental illness. And it is important to take note and say, hey, I do have a mental illness. I am validated. Like, I'm not just trying to fake this for attention. Like, I actually do have a mental illness that needs to be looked at and taken care of so that I can get better. The only problem is most people around my age, so most teenagers believe that, oh, even though, yeah, I am suffering, yeah, I may have depression or whatever, I'm just going to keep it to myself because I'm just a teenager, no one really cares, like, what's going on. But it is important for us to understand that, hey, we do need to understand that getting help is not some sort of weakness or some sort of bad quality. Although sometimes it may be hard and difficult to do that, this is trying to help people say, hey, although, yeah, I am depressed or I am upset, I can still get help. I can still talk to a therapist or a guidance counselor, or even if it's my friends down the street or something like that, that I can still bring this up to somebody and I can still, talk to them and try and figure out, hey, what's making me feel this way, or how can I get better, so that I'm not always feeling upset, or I'm not always scared about what's going to happen because of my anxiety. And I feel like Sachem East is doing a great thing, trying to help the teenagers and people understand that, hey, you are not alone. You don't have to suffer and fight through this all by yourself. That you can ask for help. You can fight with someone. You can fight together. Because I know that a lot of people in my generation are actually they actually have mental illnesses. It's not just like a lot of people saying, like, oh yeah, I have a mental illness, and then trying to get the attention from it. Like, people are actually suffering a lot more. It also could be because of the fact that we now have more of an understanding of, like, hey, this is what depression is, or this is what anxiety is, and now we can identify it more. But as far as I'm aware, that my generation is one of the generations most affected by mental illnesses. And it's important that we try and figure out how we can make our lives as positive as possible, even though having this large negative behind us. And I just wanted to tell you guys about that, to have you guys know, like, hey, this is what's going on. This is what Sachem Pierhead is doing. And I just thought I should share this with you guys, because you will have the strength to continue growing and live and succeed in whatever it is you want to do. Even if you don't succeed the first time, you can continue trying and trying until you make it to where you want to be. You do have the strength to do that. It's not weak to try and ask for help, and it's not weak to admit that you have some sort of mental illness, because it is not at all your fault that you have this. It is something in your brain that happened, or some event that happened in your life that caused you to have depression or anxiety or any of the mental illnesses. And I just thought I should bring this to attention, because it seems like a lot of people that I know seem to suffer some sort of mental illness, and it's not always the easiest thing for them to say, oh yeah, no, today I was feeling upset, or today something happened and now I'm not feeling the best, I just want to, be left alone. Sometimes they just kind of suffer through it, and I feel like that shouldn't be the way that it is. And I'm not naming names, I'm not saying anyone in particular, it's just a lot of my friends that I know do have mental illnesses, and it's not always the easiest thing to try and talk about them, or to try and talk about what caused them. So I will leave, if you check the description, I will leave the Twitter account names. I'll leave the account names in my description for both Sachem Pure Ed and Pure Ed in general. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys share this with people who you think may be suffering with some type of mental illness, or some sort of difficulty in their life, because it is okay to talk about it and to get help. Even if you're just feeling down for one day, it is always better to try and talk it out instead of bottling it up and letting it eat at you from the inside. So please share this with people, because I feel like it's important that people should know. I wanted to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in one of my other videos. Peace.